لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد ونعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فإذا أفضتم من عرفات فاذكروا الله عند المشعر الحرام واذكروه كما هداكم وإن كنتم من قبله لمن الضالين ثم أفيدوا من حيث أفاض الناس واستغفروا الله إن الله غفور رحيم. Dear brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. The leaders have asked me to speak on the verses of the Holy Quran and the exact requirements of Hajj and how that relates to our experiences. So the Holy Quran and important knowledge of Holy Quran is the most important thing that you can bring with you on the Hajj. Holy Quran says that Al-Hajju Ashhuru Ma'lumat, that the months of Hajj are well known. فَمَنْ فَرَضَ فِيهِنَّ الْحَجَّ, who makes a decision, a determination to do Hajj, فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. No, there is no quarreling, no argumentation, no fighting, and no disobedience in the Hajj. وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ يَعْلَمُ اللَّهُ. And if you do more than that, it is better. Allah knows that. وَتَزَوَّدُوا, and bring forth your provisions. So the first ayat that I recited, that is from Ruku 25 of Surah Baqarah, it tells you how it is actually a very difficult ayat. In the Hajj, you will meet people, as Brother Nasir was mentioning, some of them, they don't consider those from Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, they don't consider us the same. We had made an arrangement with one of the drivers through the hotel tour group that they would show us the important ziyarah, the sites in Mecca, including the graveyard where some of the Sahaba are buried there in Mecca. And the brother was extremely rude. Even he would not talk to us in a proper way. The good thing is we could speak to each other in English or Urdu or Bengali and he wouldn't know what we're saying. But he was very rude. Even when it came to the graveyard, he just showed us the graveyard, there it is, and he kept driving. Even though so many Sahaba were buried. This is in Makkah. So, I recited then to him that Summa khasat khulubukum min ba'di dhalik, that some among them, their hearts become very hard. And some people's hearts are harder than the stones themselves. When you go to Makkah, that's what you'll see is stone. There are mountains like there are mountains if you go into Pennsylvania or Western New Jersey or in New York State, but those mountains are not full of grass and greenery. They are hard like stone. And the personality of the people there are harder than that stone. I recited that. I was going to continue reciting, but the professor said, no, Irfan, he knows exactly what you're saying. Don't say anymore. So, but you have to, this is what is the state of the people who have not accepted Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. They have the most beautiful things, the most holy shrines of Islam in Makkah, the Al-Haram, and in Medina, the Masjid al-Nabi. Yet their hearts are still harder than the stone, because they have not had the blessings of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. And I think that was one thing we all noticed there. But the ayat that I recited, فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ, that there is no quarreling, no fighting, no disobedience in the Hajj, this is very hard to follow. Because people will cut in front of you, they will pull you, they will push you. If you try to go to Hajj al-Aswad, it multiplies many times over. I saw the Malaysian women, of all the women there, the Indonesian women you'll see the most, among the women at least, because they sneak right in and they try to get in to those spots there right by the Hajj al-Aswad, or the Yemeni corner where you have the holy stone as well, another holy stone. They try to sneak in there, and other peoples who are bigger, they try to push you. If you follow that verse of Holy Quran, it's very difficult. It says it in Holy Quran that there is no fighting, no quarreling, but I can assure you it's not easy to follow that. Also it says, وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى, that bring forth your provisions. Verily, the best provision is righteousness. And you'll see there are people who bring their children, and I don't know why they bring such young children, and I think we discussed that as well. Sometimes 3 children as young as my 3 youngest children. And they're just with a bag on their back, they're bringing their provisions. And also this, I think, is some lack of education. The conditions there are deplorable. I mean, there's a bathroom there with urine here, and they're sleeping right on there with the children. So this is because they lack the nizam of the Jamaat, because they've not accepted Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. But there again it says, وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى, that whatever you see, you must use righteousness, taqwa, because that is the most important thing on the Hajj. It says after that, فَإِذَا أَفَضْتُم مِّنْ عَرَفَاتٍ, that when you reach the Arafat, that is the Hajj. If you ask what is Hajj, Hajj is Arafat. That is the most important thing. There's no ransom you can give or an amount you can give if you miss Arafat. You have to do Arafat. This is the most important thing in the Hajj. That's why when Arafat, that day, 9th of Zulhajj, falls on Jummah, that's a Hajj Akbar. فَإِذَا فَتُم مِّنْ عَرَفَةٍ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ عِنْدَ الْمَشْعَرِ الْحَرَامِ, remember Allah and near the holy house. That is the day when you should remember all the people and all that you have to pray for. You pray for huzur, you pray for your Jamaat, you pray for your family, and for all of humanity. That day you have 3 or 4 hours and you pray. And you'll see there, it says in the next ayah, ثُمَّ أَفَضْتُم مِّنْ عَرَفَاتٍ, they pour forth. And the next, as that evening finishes, after the Maghrib Salat, you actually not after the Maghrib, but after the sun goes down, then you leave, and then you can go to Muzdalifah. In that run, this afidu min haythu afada an-nas, pour forth with the people who pour forth. You see that. You see 700,000 or 800,000 people walking on one pathway from this side, and then you look on the other side, and there's another 700,000 or 800,000 people walking. And the brother Nasser was remembering we actually had reached quite early, and then we found a place to sleep, and then we almost got trampled on. Actually, probably brother Nasser actually did get trampled on to some degree. So it is that many people. It's that maybe you see afidu min haythu afada an-nas. You see the people pouring forth as if it was like you were pouring milk into a jar. That's the flow of the people. Because they're all wearing the ihram, all wearing white, the 2 sheets. And of course that's also a very difficult thing, at least for me that was a difficult thing. But these verses of the Holy Quran are fulfilled before your eyes in the Hajj. And then, of course, whenever you see the Khana Kaaba for the first time, that is, of course, tremendous. It is like you said, there's no words to describe that. And whatever dua they say that you offer at that time, Allah accepts that dua. So I think it was Hazrat Muslim, when he went on Hajj, he said, Rabbana taqabbal dua. Oh Allah, accept my prayer. That way that whenever your whole life is, whenever you come home and afterwards, that is, Allah, accept my prayer. May it be that always your prayers is accepted. So when you see Khana Kaaba for the first time, it will captivate you. You can't take your eyes off of it. You will be doing the tawaf, but you'll want to keep looking at it, because it is the house of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, and this is the Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You would remember all of these prayers. Wa iz yarfa Ibrahimul khawaida min al-bayti wa Ismail Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul alim. All these du'as you will remember when you're there, inshallah. And you should learn these before you go, because it will make your experience many, many times greater. So may Allah, inshallah, give us all the opportunity to do Hajj, and all of us even the opportunity to do Hajj again, and may He accept our prayers, inshallah.